Hello everybody and welcome to an exciting video. I don't deal a lot with 1/6 scale action figures, as you all know. I mean, I stick mostly to 6-inch figures. I only have one other 1/6 scale review, and that's it. This is my second ever 1/6. I mean, you can see a beachhead back there, but that's not mine. That's my brother's, and I never reviewed it. So, but yeah, that's my brother's. In terms of what I own, um, it's only the good from the good, the bad, and the ugly. Clint Eastwood. Like I said, I made a review on him kind of a long while ago, and kind of an old review video of mine. It's my channel's only been around for like 3 years or 2. But this is my second 1/6 scale figure, and dummy forgot that these figures. Oh no, it's actually sealed up. I think with my other figure it was a sort of slip off cover. Oh yeah, it is. So you can slip this plastic off, but I didn't see that, and I was like, well, I gotta cut into the plastic. Not necessary if you really want to preserve the outer plastic sleeve. But I cut it, and I thought, well, I might as well do 3 slashes for the intro and make it seem like Wolverine slashed it himself. But with that being said, I mean, I can finish tearing this apart. And at the start of this video, I did only record the front of it. So there's the front. You have a nice Wolverine with this sort of comic booky stuff going on. Hono Studios, I'll get into that in a bit because I'm very confused as to what company made this, but lovely art of Wolverine right there. His name right there, Wolverine, the claws, the X logo. Love the X-Men Marvel logo there. And then you have the top there with another Marvel X-Men, but this time in yellow, so it really stands out. On the side, not much other than, again, that sort of comic book sort of effect going on there. And then you have the same logo, Hono Studios. You have the same logo, but in black at the bottom. Same thing on this side. Nothing too crazy. Again, the comic book texture there. And then you have the back with a sort of product shot of Wolverine. Not really showing you much other than the figure and sort of a dynamic pose there, but down here you have the bar and barcode and stuff, and then you have that nice hollow Disney sticker, because as you know, X-Men is now owned by Disney, ever since Fox sold those rights. A little bit of a tear in this corner. I don't know if I did that, but yeah, on both sides, a little bit of a tear. But let me just get into the whole thing of how I got this. If you're not on social media, on Instagram, and you're a collector, I highly recommend following some of the major action figure accounts. This is how I got mine. They host raffles almost monthly, and this was one of the raffles at some point, and I totally forgot I had commented, and lo and behold, I was the raffle winner. And so I got this entirely for free, they just asked for my address. I gave them my address. I know it's a bit sketchy being online and stuff, but they are very reputable, so I'll link them. They're called In Pursuit of Toys, I believe, is the Instagram account. I'll link them down below anyway, so you guys can follow them if you haven't already. They just update you on what's new action figure wise, mostly for the main name brands, so Hasbro, HotToys, Sideshow, and that sort of thing, Mattel, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, that's how I got a hold of this one. Now another thing is Hono Toys. I don't know if that's like HotToys main brand. The box itself, as you probably heard of me smash my knee, They shipped it in its regular shipping box, so made in China. You can see that the HotToys label is on there. So I think this is just a HotToys, but I guess the company is called Hono Toys. I don't know, or Hono Studio, whatever. Those of you who know can let me know down in the comments below. So I don't know what I'm gonna name this, like HotToys or Hono Studio, maybe a mix of both, I don't know. But yeah, it's a little confusing in that regard, but I don't think it matters because this thing looks amazing if you haven't seen the back of the box. That's enough yapping. I'm gonna try and figure out how to open this thing up, and then we'll get into it. Right. Starting off, we have this sort of tab that goes down. This goes up. Oh, there we go. So I can kind of fold it backwards going that way. And here we have Hono Studio Collectibles Exploring. You guys can read their, I guess this is their like mission statement or what their purpose is. And I think with that being said, we can, I think the figures behind this. So let's go to a top view where I can lay this thing down. Right now that we're up here, I can kind of maneuver this a little bit better. I already showed you this nice bright and yellow and white. There's their logo, not much on the side. So ooh. Here's the inside. So these are the instructions for the inside for the figure. That's pretty cool. This is a nice and sturdy cardboard stock as well, so that's not going to bend like easily. And yeah, you just have all the different instructions, which may be needed because, well, it just shows you the articulation, but we'll explore that as we go. And yeah, very cool. It's the swappable face plates over here, swappable hands and whatnot. Very cool looking. There's the figure itself in like black and gray. I'm gonna set this aside and I'll try to be careful and not topple things over. I did clean around in this area, so I have room, but yeah, there it is. I guess you can always close this back up without the cardboard, yeah. But, or what you could do is put these flaps back in if you want to keep it in the box. I don't know why you would want to do that, but then you just display it on a shelf like that with this sort of covering it. You would have to cut this off, but that's a nice sort of display thing. But I'm gonna take them out because that's what I do. And there's everything falling over again. I will say there isn't a lot of accessory wise with this. From the looks of it, there was only, oh, there's a separate sort of plastic thingy-mabob covering all the accessories and all the goodies in there. So let me go ahead and remove it. There we go. And nothing came off with it other than this other plastic thingy, which is protecting the figure. I want to leave a black tray in there. But we have two face sculpts here, or face plates here. Very cool. You can see the nose, the teeth, different expressions. There's the teeth, sort of a grinning and a growl face sculpt. Looks very cool. Tons of texture in there, painted on there. Very clean teeth for him being the Wolverine, but we got two of those. We're gonna zoom out. We might just go through the accessories in this segment because, like I said, there isn't a lot. We have the extra pegs in case anything breaks. Replaceable pegs, so that's cool to have. We have the claws Very cool, very bright and shiny. Nicely curved, and they move a little bit, but they're nice and strong. They're, as you can see how they just bounce back into place. And yeah, I will say though, these have like a curve angled out sort of, but there's the silver paint at the sort of top of the hand, and there's that nice sort of metallic blue sculpted, very nice. But yeah, I will say, yeah, they kind of angle upward and they're not straight front or going out straight ahead from the fist, and I think I'll explain that later once we put these on. But from here you can notice it even more, how they just angle outward rather than straight forward with the fingers, which can be a little bothersome, not gonna lie, especially on this one. But it still looks cool, and it's only a matter of putting it on the figure and seeing how that looks. We'll take out the figure and set it aside for the time being. You have this other tray. Oh, this is the base here, and there goes part of the base, but nice Wolverine printed on there. And then you have the yellow trim. You have a nice sort of thing here protecting it from scuffage. Have a hole there, and I dropped that thing again. But then you have the rod, I can see in here. Nice sort of clear rod. And I assume you can just put that in there, right? As such, it's not really plugging in all the way. I'll have to actually read the instructions. But that was a rod, and this is, I assume, sort of a crotch holder. You can see the screw there. It's also kind of clear, but you can see the screw in there, so you can tighten it around the sort of pole. And then we have these effects for the claws themselves. So they're in another tray. My god, they're really in there. But yeah, because this is a bigger one of, yeah, you get a set of pair. I'll just take them out and then cut back, and we'll take a closer look. Alright, so we have all these different effects, and I think we have 4 of these smaller ones, which all look sort of identical. I'm gonna put these bigger ones down, but yeah, I think they're all just identical pieces, so very cool. It's just sort of a slashing effect, sort of clear plastic, but also kind of silvery to give it that shimmer that you still see in the comics, you know, while he's slashing out. So here's the other 2, just to show those off. Very cool looking, very nicely sculpted, as you can see there. Very nice, and we'll see how those work later on. And then we have the much bigger ones here, and you can see a sort of slit there, so I think that's where the claw is gonna embed. So these are much bigger. You can see that there, sculpted nicely. Again, the same sort of silvery, bluish, clear shimmer going for it, so that's very cool to see. There's the other side if you're interested. But yeah, I think that's everything that comes with it. Oh, I was wrong. I was mistaken. I was very mistaken, and ooh, you have a nice backdrop in there. So yeah, I think this is meant for a display. So I was right in that you can put this flap back down and display him that way. But yeah, this is Unless this is a separate thing that is just very hard to take out. Oh, I see. You gotta cut it out. But is it like... Do I have to cut the packaging? Do I have to cut into the box just to get this out? Because there's no way of removing this, at least that I can... It is a flap, I can see it moving. So I know it's a separate piece. And I'm trying to get it out. There we go. There we go. It is attached to the entire box here. So in a way, yeah, you do have to cut this out. And I don't know if I'm going to do that just yet. Oh man, what am I getting myself into? But yeah, I mean, that you can cut out, and I'm sure you can place it somewhere. Let's take a look at our other sort of... yeah, I see. Maybe I should actually look at the instructions before cutting anything, but it's like a tray. We have another plastic cover here. Throw that out. So yeah, I think it goes in here because it mentioned somewhere on the box, or I was looking at some promo shots, descriptions before actually getting it. It said you could remove the cover page that it comes with an actual sort of comic book that you own. So taking a look, whoa, way too much. Yeah, so you cut it out, you have the frame thing, which we just got out, this thing. You place it on this tray, and then that is going to go into the display base. So yeah, the rod is supposed to go in there. It just was struggling. I'll try again off screen, but yeah, that's what that seems to be for. It's cutting out that cutout and placing it in here, and that'll be sort of a display that you'll have. But yeah, is this how big comic books are? I don't know. I haven't read comic books in a while, but pretty neat. I mean, this doesn't really, it's not plastic, it's just like a, I mean, it is some form of plastic. It's just very flimsy. So I don't know how long that's gonna last, you know. So, but you have it there. It's an option, and we'll put everything together and see how it looks. All right. I'm trying to handle this thing as best as I can, but I put the stand together. I mean, this just plugs in there. Nothing too crazy, too, you know, complicated. It was just a little rough. I just don't like the clear plastic rod. I just feel like it's gonna break at some point. Doesn't feel the most sturdy, in my humble opinion. And same goes for this sort of crotch thing. I mean, once you start tightening the screw, yeah, it's on there pretty tight, but it just feels like it's gonna crack or break at some point. I don't feel the most confident about it, but it's on there, and I forgot to take this out. Unless that's supposed to stay in there. No, it's supposed to come out. And so the way this tray thing works is that you also need the clear plastic thing, because once you put the cutout in there, you need something to hold it in place. So you'd have to put this back on there, and that should be secure enough for the figure, and it is thick enough. So once you put it in there, it goes in. You'd have to clean it up because I already see a bunch of dust in there. But clean it up, put it in there, show my face in the reflection almost. Maybe I did, I don't know. and that's how it will look. I'll try to see if I can get some scissors for the cutout and cut it out, but that's how that looks as of now. And I'm just gonna set it aside for the time being, because I mean, I think it's time for some Wolverine action. So bringing him out here, he does not fit in frame. I think we're gonna have to do a wide shot again. Just look at this thing, man. It comes with these protective plastic little thingies, which I've never been a big fan of, because some of them are kind of difficult to get out. So just do it behind the scenes, where I'm not struggling with my arms or hands. Alright, those were easy enough. Now the legs, oh my god, they're around the ankles too. I feel like if you don't feel confident enough in your product of it not scraping or anything, I'd say why do this, you know? If you know your product isn't gonna scrape paint or stuff like that, don't put all that plastic on there. I understand the head sculpt maybe, and the arms and the legs, but you already had this going around, you know, the leg, so it's like a little redundant. I don't know. That's just me. It just makes opening the figure all that more tedious and whatnot. But oh my god, first-hand impressions here. That is supposed to rotate, so yeah, it's like a ball and hinge in there, so that's kind of cool. Oh, we have big muscles here. Big muscly man. That feels weird. The torso is pretty hard, so there's no like texture like that, soft texture, not even at the legs. That is strange. I am so sorry if I'm speechless right now, but I like I said, I don't deal with 1/6 scale figures all that often. There's a bottom of the shoes if you're interested in that. All right, we're gonna zoom back in to regular zoom in. We're gonna just raise this up so that we can get, oh, it's gonna take a little more than that. Maybe there we go. I just don't want the camera to be all wobbly, but I'll try to keep it stable as I can. Out of the box, it comes with these two wide open sort of hands, clawing hands, kind of. And yeah, they're sculpted well. Again, that blue metallic paint going for it, and the silver there, top of the gloves. Again, I just feel there's a lack of accessories. I mean, there's only so much you can give Wolverine, but maybe an alternate battle damaged head, alternate hands that aren't just wide open or clawed, you know, because you can even swap these around with each other, at least that I know of. Maybe you can. Are these magnetic? Are they fooling me? It doesn't seem like it. Does the instructions say anything? No, they do not. So yeah, so the claws are just for the fist here, so those are on there permanently. And yeah, I don't know, like maybe fists without the claws would have been cool, or like pointing hands, you know, kind of like what Hasbro did. Relaxed hands, you know, a little more would have been nice. But then again, I checked the price for this, like regular retail. This is only 165 bucks. So maybe that would have costed a little more. And I can't complain too much because I did get this basically for free in the giveaway. So can't complain too much, but you know, I'm just saying if I would have bought this with my own money, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more. I don't know where to start. We'll start with the biceps, because this is supposed to be like a silicone like mold going around your articulation, so you can still get that range with this silicone like squishy substance here. I will say the hair, it's just painted on there, it's not sculpted or anything, unlike the veins. Yeah, just painted on there, looks okay for the most part, nothing to go crazy about. Same thing on this side, nothing too crazy. That's the only different thing here. Everything else has like this soft goods over it, except here, this is hard. The crotch piece is hard, the belt is hard, the gloves, hands, there's no like soft goods. It's all plastic like a regular action figure would have it. These do go over the sort of silicone body there, but yeah, they're solid plastic down here at the boots, solid. So I kind of like that. It's a combination of like soft goods, you have this sort of silicone body, and then the soft goods, and like it's a good blend of them all. Especially up here at the head, because this is also plastic, sculpted plastic, very cool. You can hear me tapping on it, very nice. There is a difference in sort of shade of the yellow going from the head to the body, but from far away it still looks good. Taking a look here at the head sculpt, we're gonna dig into the details a little more. Lots of detail, like leather detail for the mask in the black areas. Very cool. The yellow eyes are painted very well. You have this sort of sad expression out of the box. The top, the rest of the mask is also textured to match this down here, so that's very cool to see. Paint apps are very good. There's a little bit of black bleeding onto the yellow there. You can see there, but nothing too major, and this does feel very sturdy. It's not as pliable as Hasbro, a little bit there at the tip, so, you know, always careful with your Hot Toys when you're handling them, but there's this faceplate here of him sort of just a neutral expression, kind of sad-faced a little bit. And I believe instructions just say, okay, instructions say pop head off. You have the articulation system in there. So like a double jointed in there in the dumbbell ball joint here system. We'll get into articulation later. Forgot to mention this is also soft little black stripes added onto the suit. You can see all the stitching on the back. Yeah, we'll get into the details in a bit. And more into the other details in a bit. There's the socket in there, and I believe this articulates. No, that is, I think, stationary in there. But yeah, you're just gonna push this. There we go. You have empty mask without a faceplate. And then we can go ahead and add the different expression. Just goes in there. Stays on there pretty well. So you have this sort of grinning, smiling one. And honestly, it's Wolverine. I think we're gonna go with the full angry face. Look at how that looks. That looks phenomenal. Going back out here, I guess we're gonna plop the head back on there. Like I said, this is all sort of molded plastic, so you have a lot of crazy texture going in there, and with that bright metal blue, it's just the sculpt for this is amazing. The belt is sculpted on there too. You can see all the sort of leather working going through it. Get down to the boots. You have that same sort of leather texture going for it too. Nice paint apps. Nice sculpting. Just crazy work going through. And then you do have toe hinges, which you can see the pins for. That doesn't really bother me too much. It might for some people because they pay so much for it and they're like, oh, we want the best articulation. That does not bother me whatsoever. It's a nice blend of like Hasbro and like probably like Mezco. I don't have a Mezco, but I know they do soft goods. Think of it as like that. It isn't like full on like HotToys. Well, I don't know. I haven't dealt with HotToys. Like I said, I don't have a HotToys, and the 1/6 scale figure I do have is sort of a more traditional, fully clothed figure. But did I show off the arms? I think I did. But yeah, I think it's time for articulation, which I see the arms not being too much of an issue. Starting with the head, he can look up very well. Can look down pretty well too. And then, yeah, you have side to side, and then he can pivot, give him some more expression, you know? Arms go out. Oh, forgot to mention, these are also plastic, as you can hear there. But yeah, it's just in that nice, it's supposed to be like a metal shoulder pad, but you have just that nice metallic blue going through it. Very nice. But yeah, arms. Oh, that one's a little floppy there, but perfect T-pose. He can T-pose around. Let's see. The instructions say you have an upper I don't know what. I don't know my anatomy, but you have an upper torso ball joint here and at the waist, but we'll get that in a minute. Butterfly joints. It seems we do have some butterfly joints, and these are on the shoulder itself. So yeah, you got butterfly joints. No real bicep swivel in there, because obviously this is that silicone body, but I think we have double jointed arms, and I showed those off earlier, and they go up about that much, so it's very good range. I don't know the durability of the silicone mold. I don't know if leaving it in this sort of position is gonna shape it or shape this into that over time. I guess I can always experiment, but yeah, I don't know for how long you should keep this sort of material bent for. And not much else in the forearm. I guess these rotate so you can give the illusion of him sort of rotating his forearm. So there's that. And then you do have the hinge here, which you can rotate into sort of horizontal or vertical, whichever one you want. Mine's kind of tight in there for the time being. Let me see if I can remove it. But yeah, you can see what I mean. This is supposed to rotate and it becomes horizontal, so now it's side to side, and then you can rotate it back so that it's hard to do on camera. There we go. And now you have a vertical up and down rotation, so that's the same for both sides. I mean, fairly good articulation for a 1/6 scale figure. That being said, torso wise, you can crunch forward from the top about that much and back about that much on the top one. Pretty good range, I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, this is all soft goods, so it's gonna bundle up and bunch up as such. Not much pivot there. You do get some. Pretty standard. Black stripes there too. And then with the waist swivel down here, down low, you can get them crunched about that much. So good ab crunch forward, and then good tilt up, so you can get those crouched sort of positions. You can crunch back pretty well, and then pivoting. Yeah, you can pivot in there very well. Pretty good articulation. I mean, I'm not gonna push it too far. You people can also push it as much as you want, but from what I'm seeing, I think this whole entire thing is connected together. because I do see a gap, and I think it connects to this top part as well. So yeah, kind of cool engineering going on there, but legs can kick out about that much. So it's a pretty good, pretty good spread for Wolverine. Can kick forward about that much only. You can sit pretty nicely. So yeah, you can kick forward about that much. Do we have upper thigh cut? It doesn't feel like we have an upper thigh cut. So a lot of the thigh movement is going to be here at the ball joints. Sort of a new Black Series figure. So that's how you get your thigh movement. And I do see there is a double jointed knee in there, which I don't know how far this can stretch. Pretty good range. And yeah, it stretches pretty well. Again, I don't know if you should leave it stretched out like that for long periods of time. That is up to you to experiment with. But I will say he does get pretty nice range. I think, does he have boot swivel? Doesn't seem like he has a boot swivel. Let me see. Instructions tell me, no, it doesn't seem like it. Yeah, no. Yeah, it doesn't show any boot swivel on the instructions. So unfortunate, but I can kind of see why if this is attached down here in the boot somewhere. And then feet can go back about that much forward. And I think this is another sort of hinge and rotate thing, and it goes in there at an angle. So you do get pivoting if you position the joint, if you rotate as such, and then you plug it in, and then you get your pivot that way. So it's an interesting design. Yeah, because it's front facing there. Oh, I don't think I'm even showing that in camera. Front facing there, so you plug it in and then it can go forward and back. And there's isn't real like ankle pivot unless you take the foot off and then rotate this, and now you can put it back. And now that's your ankle pivot there, kind of working. But yeah, it's a little tricky, and with these kind of action figures, you always have to learn as you go. And as I mentioned, you do have the toe hinge here. Works very well. And yeah, because yeah, you do get like a pivot, but the foot starts to unalign. So yeah. And yeah, I think that's mostly, oh well, we gotta do the thing. Remove his hands, and I will say they're all kind of rubbery, so they're not like hard plastic, so that's kind of cool to see. And this one, the joint came along with the hand, so I gotta force it out of it. And I guess if you want to see the rest of the forearm without the cup, the hair goes all the way down, so I guess that's also an option you have if you want without these, and you just want sort of gloved hands. I don't know how that would look. It doesn't look too bad, but I'll put them back on. I don't know which side was which. Thing like that. And put this back in there, and then you can see the sort of like metal structure in there. So put that back, put this back, and now we have the claws go in. And I'm just gonna do this off screen because I don't want to struggle on screen. You really have to align these because it's a small peg, so you can see there, for a small hole. So it's gonna take a while. There we have it, folks. the claws have been installed, and I have this nice simple little pose going, just him being like, I'm gonna mess you up. Yeah, the claws look nice, and I kind of see why they did the whole like shoom. I mean, it is based on like comic book art, I would assume, at least what they gave us, maybe, I don't know. But a lot of the time in the comics, the claws are sort of like curving upward instead of just going straight outward. Again, it's just an artistic choice to really show the claws off. But they look very cool on the figure, and while they're on there, yeah, it's not as bothersome, you know, them curving up like they do. At least I don't think so anymore. And that's maybe just because he looks like a badass with them on. That being said, we do have the effects here, which I don't know yeah, they do show how to put them on there. And it shows that you can... Alright, we'll go down low for this, because I can lay them down and just sort of mess with the claws. Whoa, careful with the camera. Does it go like that? Does it go like... I think it goes... I'm not sure. It shows this front end is supposed to go into the claw, so like that. Oh, that is very wobbly. But once you get it on there and it stops wobbling, it gives it the effect of him slashing. But that's the big one. Smaller ones, I guess, go on the outer edges. Yes, so. Yeah, and then the middle one, since it's so prominent, it'll stick out from the two. So let's go ahead and raise it back up and just sort of articulate them in a sort of slashing motion if I can. Oh. I can stand them up. So yeah, there's the effect. It kind of works. Yeah, they're just not the most secure, and this just keeps wobbling around. That's also moving the table right now. And I'm also trying to put this other one on there. Can you stop? Alright, there we go. It kind of looks cool. Not kinda, it does look cool. He's sort of slashing out, and that's the effect it gives, is the motion, as some would say. But yeah, just since it's such a big piece, it's very wobbly as soon as you move it. Like, these don't move as much. The middle one does. But yeah, you can see how that looks and how that functions as well. I think they could have definitely done it a different way. Maybe if it just like slipped over the claw would have been a little better, but I don't know how that would work. But yeah, it looks cool for what it is. I mean, once you remove them, it still looks fantastic. Still looks great. It's gonna be a long video, so just bear with me, but I think this is a great little Hot Toys, because it is by Hot Toys, so a great figure. Nonetheless, I'm gonna see if I can pose them and take pictures, because this is a much bigger figure than my usual. So it's a little trickier to take pictures. But I'll try my best, and you can always find my pictures on Instagram as always. So I hope you guys go over and follow me there. So yeah, a little hit. Yeah, let's give him some attitude. There you go. You can see him through the claws. Him giving some attitude. Very cool. See, this is why we need clawless fists, because then we only have him like sort of showing off one pair while the others are still hidden. But yeah, that looks pretty neat. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I did a good job in reviewing this thing, really showing you guys what he can do and what he comes with and all that sort of thing. Again, I'm so new to reviewing 1/6 scale figures. It's really not my element. My setup is not really set up to review it either, but I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm gonna try one more pose here, see if we can... Oh, there is sort of a bicep swivel. Oh, kind of? I don't know what's going on in there. Look, I don't know how this articulation works with the sort of silicone body mold, but I was just able to rotate it this way because I want to get that sort of iconic, like double. Again, working with these things just take patience and time, and you really gotta be patient and careful with your figures, especially these expensive figures. But oh yeah, I give him some attitude. That's what's so fun about Wolverine. He's just full of attitude. Maybe the anger face works best in this pose. Not feeling it. Maybe his neutral face will look good on this. Yeah, I see that. I mean, they all kind of work, but that kind of... Maybe in a more action stance, a different head will fit. But yeah, that's how he looks right now. As I said, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I did it justice in this review. Hopefully it's not too long or you guys get bored, but I'm happy with what I got. Again, this was basically for free. Can't complain too much. I like how it looks. Again, extra hands would have been nice always. But yeah, this is all we have. This is all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how it functions, and I'm happy with how it looks. I don't really have it's 1/6 scale collection, so I think it's just gonna go wherever I can fit them for now. Unless they get a Colossus, then maybe I'll consider getting that Colossus on my own. With that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. I guess I'll bring in the base as well, but yeah, I don't know that I can always lower it, but hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll see you guys in a future video. And I'm just gonna put him here because he's gonna fall. I'll see you guys next time.